Welcome again to Save Your Money, Save Your Teeth, the go-to podcast where curiosity meets dentistry straight from the experts. I'm Ian, and I'm joined once again by Dr. Clifford Yudelman from OptiSmile, and we're about to take another deep dive into the world of dental care from a consumer's perspective. Whether you're looking to brighten your smile or protect your wallet, we have got you covered with this podcast, giving you practical advice and the latest insights. So do stick around with us for the next half an hour or so as we uncover the secrets to maintaining both your dental health and your finances. We've got Dr. Clifford Yudelman again. Welcome back, Doc. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks, Ian. Thanks for having me back. Great to speak to you again. And we've been getting very good responses to our Yachty series. And I thought we'd extend the dental tourism podcast that we did to look at things going in the other direction. And today we're talking about why South Africa is a top choice for dental tourism and some of the key benefits and misconceptions. And I had a sneak peek at some of your questions and looking forward to answering them.
And I'm looking forward to asking them. Now, now let me ask you, Dr. Yudelman, what might surprise people who automatically think of places like Turkey or Thailand for dental tourism rather than good old South Africa?
So many people don't realize that South Africa has a strong medical and dental reputation, especially in cities like Cape Town and Johannesburg. The exchange rate can be very favorable for visitors from the UK, Europe, or even the US. We're getting a lot of people now starting to come from the US. South Africa's cultural diversity, often means excellent English proficiency and a welcoming hospitality. We've got a long history of being very hospitable to overseas people, and we do generally love it, especially in Cape Town. We get something close, I don't even know the exact numbers, but I think over 1 million tourists a year, and especially it's more concentrated in summer. And OptiSmile this year has been going 10 years, and we've got our regulars from the UK and Germany and Austria, people that have now subsequently, they bought houses or apartments here, and they spend more and more time, sometimes up to 3 months or 4 months. I just saw a patient today from Stockholm, and he came in 2018, a filling fell out, and one of my associates fixed his filling, and we haven't seen him since. And he came in today, and he's got his regular dentist in Stockholm, and he told me that he spends 5 months a year here, and he comes twice a year. And I said, well, it's time to switch over. Next time you come in, we're doing a full checkup, and I'm going to be your new dentist. It's interesting.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So beyond just the price tag, how does the value proposition of getting work done in South Africa stack up when you consider quality, the exchange rates, and also that overall experience?
So, you're not just paying for dental care, but also top-level expertise with cutting-edge tech, or in this case, drilling-edge tech. Maybe we shouldn't crack jokes like that, but me. There's thorough follow-up. In Cape Town alone, there's 3 or 4 other practices similar to OptiSmile, and the one thing we have in common is we all practiced overseas, many in the UK or other places, like myself in USA and Australia, and then returned back here to build these group practices and centers of excellence. You've got a great exchange rate, which stretches your foreign currencies, making premium services more affordable. South Africa's for a long time been a very popular destination for medical tourism, especially plastic surgery, people getting breast enhancements or reductions, nose jobs, and facelifts, things like that. And more, even for very complex medical procedures. I recently had a patient of mine. He had his whole mouth redone. He spends a few months here every year. His dad contacted me. He's from Ireland, and the dad, unfortunately, like myself, I had prostate cancer. I had a prostatectomy 6 years ago, and the dad had heard that happened to me, and I gave him advice, and he actually was finding it difficult to get proper advice and care in Ireland, and he's come here now. He's had his biopsy here, and he's seriously thinking about getting robotic surgery in South Africa because it's just so difficult to get things done on the national health. So, we've got very sophisticated medical care here. And of course, people can enjoy a very unique holiday experience, from safaris to wine tasting, and that enhances the overall value of coming to South Africa.
Absolutely. Now, in terms of professional training and standards, what makes South African dental qualifications comparable to or even exceeding those found elsewhere, Doctor?
So South African dental schools undergo rigorous accreditation. We don't have a lot of dental schools, and it's like, for instance, I went to University of the Witwatersrand, and in fact, 3 other dentists that practice at OptiSmile also went to University of Witwatersrand, and many of the specialists in Cape Town all studied there. And my late dad qualified at University of Witwatersrand. The dental school's been going not quite 100 years. I don't know exactly when it started, but it's not like in some countries they building dental schools fast and furious just to pump out more dentists. I'm not sure about in Turkey or Thailand, but South Africa does have a very strong medical and dental reputation. Continuing professional development is mandatory. We got to do at least 60 units a year of CE, and it's very strictly regulated by the Health Practitioners Council of South Africa, the HPCSA. Even our dental assistants have to undergo special training and be certified. The oral hygienists do a several years course. Many of the dentists in Cape Town and Johannesburg and elsewhere have got other international certifications where they've done further studies. My prosthodontist, Dr. Steyn, in the practice, he qualified in Pretoria around about when I qualified in 83. And he actually then went on to Boston, and he became a specialist in implants in Boston. Actually, he's a bit older than me, so he specialized and qualified in Boston in 1983. So he's been a specialist for 42 years. You've got some very high-end people like that. We've got a famous professor on the world lecturing circuit, Professor Howard Gluckman. We've got Dr. Mark Bowes, who's one of the world's experts in digital smile design. These are my friendly rivals, other dental practices, people I'm friendly with that we sometimes will refer patients to for certain specialized things that maybe we don't do ourselves, and vice versa. We specialize in Invisalign. A lot of dentists don't do genuine Invisalign, and there's things that Invisalign can do that normal aligners or braces struggle with. So yeah, look, in terms of professional training and standards, South Africa's, in my opinion, amazing. And I did practice overseas for 32 years, so I speak from experience.
Yeah, no, that definitely means a lot, coming from you with all that experience. But I mean, South Africa also has diverse cultures and languages. How would you say this multicultural environment benefits overseas dental patients?
So when you come to South Africa, a lot of people think that if they're a bit naive and they've never spoken to people, or they have no idea, they're very surprised that almost everybody speaks English very well. So there's no language barriers. I went to Turkey years ago. I can't say what it's like now, and I've also been to Bangkok. But if you go to some of these other places, the dentist may not speak English as well as we do in South Africa. There's also dentists that are fluent in German and in Dutch, and even some French-speaking dentists in Cape Town. This multicultural setting fosters a very welcoming atmosphere, and international patients often feel at ease in South Africa. And clinics frequently deal with diverse cases, so they're adept at personalizing treatments for visitors from all walks of life.
All right, and then what unique tourist attractions like safaris or wine regions or beaches enhance the appeal of combining dental care with a holiday in Cape Town or beyond?
Oh, don't get me started there. I mean, I've been back in South Africa now 10 years, and just traveling around in the Western Cape, especially, after COVID, during and after COVID, when the lockdown eased up, and a lot of these international hotels were half price or even 75% off. And I had the privilege of going to some amazing places, De Hoop Nature Reserve. You just sit there and you're having breakfast, and there's dolphins surfing under the waves and all kinds of nature. The coastline is spectacular. The Garden Route, Mossel Bay, Plettenberg Bay. You got Table Mountain, the Cape Winelands. You could come to Cape Town and just spend 2 weeks just exploring Stellenbosch and Paarl and Franschhoek. I mean, these names are very famous now. And world-class safari lodges. You can see the big five. Not so much in the Western Cape. We do have a few small safari, private safari places, but the Kruger Park is internationally renowned, and a lot of people will add a trip on at the beginning or end of their trip to Cape Town, and they go up there or they go to the Victoria Falls. There's just so much to do. South Africa is more than just one trip. I've been speaking to someone in the UK that has started a website. It's about to be launched. It's called Dental Spas and Safaris, and it's very highly accredited with the tourism authorities in the UK and South Africa, and they'll be looking at doing turnkey holidays to luxury, Relais Chateau type spas, and also to every type of safari you can imagine. And a number of very high-end practices have joined up with that group and will be offering a complete package. Maybe, it's going to be launched literally in the next few weeks. So keep your eyes open for dental spas and safaris from the UK.
Sounds really cool. So, Doctor, also for visitors, worried about safety or logistics, what realistic measures do local clinics and tourism operators provide to ensure a comfortable and also a safe stay?
Yeah, so look, Cape Town, I can't speak about Johannesburg. I grew up there. I'm going up there tomorrow. To be honest, I always feel a little bit nervous when I'm in Johannesburg.
Same here.
I think maybe because I grew up there, so maybe I know things other people don't. But certainly Cape Town, the Ubers are safe. You can organize airport pickup if you're arriving late and you don't want to go in an Uber. There's all kinds of limo services. The hotels are unbelievable. You've got reputable tour guides. Someone like Dental Spas and Safaris or a regular travel agent can organize everything for you. A lot of the areas in Cape Town, like all big cities, we do have areas where there is poverty and or some gang stuff going on. My brother lives in Sydney. It's apparently way worse in places like Sydney now. I spent a lot of time in San Diego, and there's a lot of rough places in San Diego and even Perth where I lived. So generally, if you come to the Atlantic seaboard, it's very safe. There's very good security everywhere. You can walk around day or night. The clinics are all in very high-end areas. You're not going to have to go into some back street or something to get your implant or your veneers done. And like in our case, transparent communication. We've got dedicated, patient coordinators that can help with everything. So yeah, look, it's as I say, I'm not sure if you're going to Turkey or to Bangkok if it's so sophisticated. I've never done that, but I've only ever heard stories.
Yeah, and that song "One Night in Bangkok."
Yeah, wasn't it one night in Paris is like a year in any other place.
Yes.
There is one night in Bangkok. Eh?
Okay, but
Yeah.
how do dental clinics in Cape Town tailor their services for international patients who may be on tight schedules?
So flexible appointments. We've really sometimes rearranged things. We like to pre-plan everything. I wouldn't advise someone to arrive in Cape Town for 10 days and expect to have a consultation and leave with a full set of veneers or injection molding. So pre-arrival online consultations. This is something people can book automatically. If you go on our website now, 24/7, you can book a free video consultation with myself or any one of our dentists here, and we can go over everything for you. Sometimes with dental spas and safaris, what we're doing is setting up. There's a group with 600 dentists. We're organizing so people can actually have scans and x-rays ahead of time, which is going to be amazing. Treatment plans are often consolidated, so multiple procedures can be done in a shorter time frame without compromising quality. We can pre-book procedures with a lab. When we do a video consultation, a lot of people that decide they want to go overseas for dental work, they've already had some quotes back home and they feel like they deserve a holiday and they want to combine everything together. Others come to and from South Africa and they know the quality of the medical care, and then they decide to make South Africa their dental home. But yeah, this podcast is for everybody, from people that have never been here to people that come on a regular basis and haven't thought about it.
Doctor, are there any specific procedures, like cosmetic makeovers or implant surgery that South Africa is especially well known for?
Yeah, so some of these practices that I was talking about, aside from OptiSmile, we've got other great practices in Johannesburg and in Cape Town. I introduced all of them to dental spas and safaris. They'll be on their platform. They all specialize in digital smile designs and full smile makeovers, veneers, crowns, bonding, thanks to, a blend of artistry and technical skill and in many cases extra years of advanced education. Dental implants are all used using top quality materials and leading edge 3D imaging, and guided surgery is very common. You don't just go in and the dentist just puts in an implant. It's all done with cone beam CBCT scans. If somebody's listening to this podcast for the first time, you can go back. We have 48 other podcasts, and we've spoken about each of these things, about these high-end x-rays and digital planning and the difference between a crown and an onlay. And we've got several on implants and so on. But this is all available in Cape Town and Johannesburg. Some of the group practices specialize in comprehensive dentistry, which handles complex cases with like a multidisciplinary approach, where there's several dentists. Like in our practice, we have Dr. Ruan Skierpus that was teaching root canal treatments at Wits and implants, and he practices root canals to a very advanced level. I mentioned Dr. Steyn, who's a internationally qualified prosthodontist. You've got, as I mentioned before, Professor Howard Kluckman, that is a world expert on building up bone for people that have lost a lot of bone, and very specialized implant work and so on. There's a lot going on here. I'd like to think that we're well known. Well, we're not that well known, but people are learning more about the type of dentistry you can get at one of these types of practices. They generally bigger group practices with at least 3, 4, 5, 6 dentists all practicing together, because then you can get the higher end equipment. For a single dentist to have multiple scanners and CBCTs and so on, it's not as common.
Okay, and could you talk about the general misconceptions that people have regarding travel distances, or maybe the healthcare infrastructure, or even the idea of Africa in general? Do they know that we don't have animals running around all the time,
Well, that's it. Just it. Some assume that Africa, people you say from South Africa. I think now, with Trevor Noah and
Yeah.
I'm talking about when Nelson Mandela was still in prison. I don't think anyone in America had even heard of South Africa. I left here in 83, and when you used to travel, people would be like, "Oh, South Africa, is that from the bottom part of Africa?" They didn't even know South Africa was a country, and people were, "Oh, do you all have white people over there?" That kind of thing.
Yeah. Why aren't you black?
Yeah. So a lot of people in those days were unaware of the modern infrastructure in the major cities. I do think people are shocked when they come to Cape Town. I can't speak for Johannesburg. Sometimes I do think I've arrived in Dar es Salaam, or having said that, I haven't been to Dar es Salaam. I believe it's amazing now. I haven't been in about 10, 15 years. But yeah, look, people worry about the long flights, but there's so many direct flights now, or one-stop flights straight from the US, straight to Cape Town, or definitely from Europe. I think Europeans know about South Africa. If they've never been here, I don't think they're that naive. But I think the one thing is, like I said, that the high-end private clinics in Cape Town will rival, if not compete head-to-head with any of the top clinics in Harley Street and beyond. I think we at OptiSmile and some of my other friendly competitors or rivals here in Cape Town, I used to call them my frenemies. We're always very friendly when we see each other at dental conferences, and then in the end, you used to consider or think that you're competing for patients, yet there's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people that need dental treatment. There's more than enough. I think there's actually a shortage of high-end dental practices, to be honest. Everything, I know all of these practices are very busy, just like we are. So I think that does surprise people. I think the word used was general misconceptions. I think some people are very ill-informed about what you find when you get here.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to ask, is your practice in a hut, or do you actually have buildings over there,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but after this podcast now, Doctor, if someone's on the fence, what is the single biggest reason you believe they should pick South Africa for their dental journey?
Yeah, in a nutshell, you get world-class treatment at a competitive cost or rate because of the exchange rate, basically. Good dentistry in South Africa can be expensive, especially for South Africans. But if you come over here with your euro or your dollar, you're going to find everything a bargain, from a steak to a beautiful bottle of wine, or even a crown or an implant. We know that people are very surprised. And, you're going to pair this with a once-in-a-lifetime holiday. Hopefully you come more than once. The warmth and the personal touch of South African hospitality just makes the entire process more pleasant. Yeah, I can't believe the other day we got 3 Google reviews in one day. We get reviews every few days or one a week, and I think this week we've had 4 Google reviews, and people just really appreciate not even so much the dentistry, but just the way you make them feel. I think that's unique in South Africa. We get a lot of overseas people talking about the experience, the overall experience. And of course, so there's the quality, the affordability, and then, it's hard to argue. You got your unforgettable experience, your safaris, your beaches. You can tell I'm a big fan, so I should be an ambassador or something.
Yeah, you should actually, eh?
Yeah.
You do very well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Dr. Yudelman, thank you. That's another great episode, very informative, and definitely an international level standard podcast here. Save your money, save your teeth. Big thanks to you, Dr. Yudelman. for always sharing your expertise with us. We appreciate it so much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. And for people that just started listening, go back and listen to some of our previous podcasts, and be sure to tune in for the next 2 while we continue to explore dental tourism. Next week, we'll be talking more about all the advanced technology behind the scenes and so on, what you'll find in South Africa. And after that, some more practical steps and things about planning your dental tourism trip. So we're having a bit of a spree with dental tourism now.
Very interesting. Love it. Doctor, thank you so much. And also to our listeners, thanks for tuning in. And remember, while we strive to provide valuable insights, always consult with your own dental professional for advice tailored to your personal health. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcasts. And for more enlightening discussions, join us again next time as we continue to explore the fascinating intersection of dental health and also financial savvy. Until then, keep smiling and taking great care of your teeth.
Discover the world of dental excellence with OptiSmile. Join us for a weekly podcast featuring Dr. Clifford Yudelman, a seasoned expert with 40 years of dental experience across 4 continents. Gain unique insights and expert dental advice by visiting optismile.co.za for articles that illuminate the path to optimal oral health. If you're seeking unparalleled dental care in Cape Town, get in touch with OptiSmile or book directly online on optismile.co.za. OptiSmile, where global expertise meets local care.